Shmee! Welcome back, you guys. That scared me.
Sorry.
Welcome back, you guys. You're listening to the Shmee podcast. I am your host, Sam Pellicero, at Not Sam Pellicero on Instagram and at Shmee Podcast. Today, I am joined with the one, the only...
Jody Taylor.
Hey! She is like the queen Shmee.
Oh,
so if Ryan and I are the
wow.
kings, well, I'm like the jester. Ryan's the king, and then you're the queen.
Oh, I don't know the jester.
The jester makes everyone laugh, and he's stupid and silly.
Oh, yeah, but like you're more than that.
Oh yeah, I am, baby. So for those who don't know, Jody is actually Ryan's girlfriend, and they're practically married because they live together. They've been together for eons. But so what I want you to share right now, Jody, is tell the listeners how we met.
Sure. So obviously, because Ryan and I date.
Yes.
Ryan, since we met, basically was like always talking about his best friend Sam, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to meet him, and just like telling me all these stories, all these like funny things, and I was super nervous because I'm like, oh, I know. So, I mean, I think like a month or so after we started dating, he was like, oh, you're going to meet Sam today after school. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I was nervous. And literally, oh, my God. One of the first things, because first of all, I was like, this was when I was like 16 years old. And I was like little, like innocent Jody back in the day. And, oh, my God. One of the first things I remember is Sam playing my neck, my back, and I never said the word pussy out loud until he played that song in front of me, and I wanted to fucking die. I wanted to die. I was mortified.
I'm so dead.
Mortified. And so that's like when the first day, you remember like the day like we hung out at Alexandria?
And the other song that I played for you? The Papa Smurf kind of lick your ass. Yeah, lick my ass, bitch. So like I come in like a fucking wrecking ball playing these songs.
And I was like, mortified.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mortified.
And I'll never forget, I don't know if you or Ryan remember this, but I do, was within the first 5 minutes of me meeting you, Ryan goes, Sam, your shirt's inside out and backwards. So I was like, oh, like, and he's like, yep, that's Sam. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like there's like a couple of things I remember like from early on, from like when we first met each other and like when I was dating Ryan. That Katy Perry song, the Alien one.
Oh yeah,
my God! I remember bumping in your car. Your like Hyundai, broke ass Hyundai.
Yes.
And I remember like leaving Alexandria, like bumping that song, and then the whatever you call it, the end of like before the end of the song.
The bridge.
The bridge, and in that part, like that lame ass rap.
Kanye West part. Yes. I don't remember that.
I just remember bumping to that. I'm like, oh my God.
And so that's what it totally binded us.
Yes.
Yeah. And we had our little moment where you and I did not get along. But we will not dive into that today.
Well, yeah, we don't need to dive into that.
Because today, what we are talking about is school, education.
Because we're hitting that time of year.
University. Oh my God, I didn't even plan that.
Oh my God, you didn't know. I was like, oh, perfect timing.
That is so weird. Yeah, well, it's back to school time. And me and Jody are going to reminisce going back to school because we done.
Honey.
We are done.
Thank Jesus.
Can't. Whenever I think about going back to school, I don't even it's not even so much I get anxiety, but I just get this overwhelming feeling of I have to organize, I have to do this, I have to go back to school shopping, which, by the way, back to school shopping is not fun when you're doing it on your own and in college.
When you have to pay for it?
I mean, no, it's not even that. It's not, I mean, yes. But,
yeah.
Okay, so when it came to back to school shopping, this is the best part. Okay, so this is what inspired this episode, was the second I thought about this, I thought, Jody is going to die because she's also going to be like, yes, me too! So, nothing would satisfy my gay 10-year-old to 12-year-old soul more than going to fucking Walmart and picking out shit from my locker. Getting like the mirrors and like all that shit that would like fucking go in your locker. And it was so cheap and tacky.
Yes.
I would get the magnets, the mirror, the shelves, the drawers.
Shelves. Oh my god.
Like I would get a little whiteboard, and I was like, I'm gonna write messages. I'm gonna keep. I'm like, Happy Thanksgiving, Sam. Like I shit to myself. Like whatever. But like, and it's so funny because I look back and I picture my brother. He was just like, whatever, like, fuck the man, whatever. Because you guys know, because Jody knows my brother, but also the audience now knows my brother.
And I've never met, but like
I know, yeah,
which is weird.
You know so much of him. But then it's me, and I was like, Mom, I know, like, I'm not supposed to, but that Lisa Frank folder.
Fucking Lisa Frank! I was hoping you brought that up.
Hell yeah!
I was like, yes.
I used to be so sad because I could never.
You wanted Lisa Frank.
I know. I wanted it so bad.
Holy shit.
And it's so funny. The one thing that sticks in my mind is the Lisa Frank, and there was a panda, and it was a fucking panda covered with like glitter and pink shit everywhere. And I was like, I want that fucking panda so bad.
But you're like, I can't have it.
I know. And so I would always settle for.
So shitty, but
it's so shitty. So shitty. Because the guy stuff, it was like football.
Lame as shit.
It's like, oh, you want some fucking like some like girl in a bikini on her phone. Like I'm at 8. I don't want any of that, even if I was straight.
Yeah, right.
Like so,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
And it also makes me laugh is like going ham on your locker, decorating it and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
You didn't use any of it.
Yeah.
Like
no,
you would never
no,
touch it.
No,
You
I mean,
never touch
like
it.
I was gonna say, I literally, it's so funny they brought that up because I did this only in middle school though. Like it was just middle school.
Oh yeah.
That,
High school,
like,
you never did that shit.
You went all in on the locker. Like I remember the shelves. I
Yes.
remember the magnets. I remember the mirror. I
Yes.
remember the whiteboards.
Yes.
Like I was like, I made my mom spend on all that shit for no reason because I really did not. That was so extra.
And I'll never
So
forget.
extra.
I don't know how it went for you because you and I went to different middle schools. Because
Yes.
I went to Memorial and you went to was it just Tin Falls Middle School?
Falls.
And I don't know how it worked for you guys, but we would always go in a few days before school started.
Oh, really?
To set our lockers up.
I think there might have been something. God, I mean, I can't remember.
But
So
I'll never
friggin' long
forget
ago.
when in 7th grade, and this is that was the first year that I lived in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Was I had my lockers next to Stephanie Ronan, and she was like
Oh my God.
and she was
yes,
like
because she was
beautiful and
Yeah.
blonde or
Yes.
whatever.
because she went to the same high school too.
Yes, and what's so funny is that she's now a teacher in Fairhaven.
Oh.
Yes, so full circle moment. But so I'll never forget, I had my locker next to her, and I wanted to be her so fucking bad because I remember I was setting up my locker at the same time she was with her mom. Like both her
my
moms were there,
God.
and she was like, Lisa Frank, that, and she was like, butterfly clips, that. She was like, oh, what's this? Oh, just Channing Tatum on my locker, and I was like, and I was like. Here's a fucking soccer ball magnet. Here's a green binder. Here's some like plain steel shelves. And she was like, glitter and fierceness. And I was like, yeah, hi, I'm Sam. And she was like, hi, I'm Stephanie. Goodbye, whatever. Yeah. No, it's don't. It's funny. It's funny.
But that makes me like thinking about like when you first move to a place and you're going to a new school. Because I did the same thing in 3rd grade. So like it's just like
which is always the worst because
and
being the new kid is the worst.
The older you get, the harder it is.
Oh,
to
totally.
Move to a place.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
A new place. I thank God I was only in 3rd grade because I feel like maybe it could have been harder then, but like middle school.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, in a weird way, it does work out because a lot of times different kids from different elementary schools go to a new middle school.
That's true.
But
That's
like
true.
in my case, I didn't know that, so I couldn't even just like blend in.
That's
Also,
so true. I didn't even think about that.
The first moment that I walked into 7th grade was I walked in, and I've said this before, as I walked in, and I was minding my business. I didn't even get to my seat yet. Some ratchet girl from the back of the class goes, "Is you gay?" And I remember like what? I was so I'm like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like culture shock going
So
to the Tinton Falls
I mean,
town area.
either one, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because I fucking moved from white Massachusetts.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, would you like some crab and lobster with that on the Plymouth ride? That was my white person voice.
Yeah.
My wife's name is is Catherine, and my son Dylan, and my daughter Emma will be right down. My name, you ask? Arthur. Like I'm dead. Anyways.
We digress.
Yeah, by the way, guys, for you guys who don't know, Ryan is in the room right now, so like we have like a peanut gallery, and I'm living for it.
I love it.
Also, a lot of these stories that Jody and I are gonna be sharing today, I have Ryan as part of them, so he'll be throwing.
Oh my god.
He'll be throwing comments from the audience.
And I have my little 2 cents wine here.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Which that is become a staple. Is most guests want to come on and take a shot beforehand, or wine, because it loosens them up. Which I'm like, do whatever you need to do and have a good time, because we're in the Shmee house. Okay, so what's funny is that you were saying how hard it was to move in 3rd grade.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, for me, it was hard to move in 3rd grade and 5th grade and 7th.
Yeah.
But the hardest was moving my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Was so lame, because that year literally gave nothing to my life story. Like I wouldn't even write a chapter on that year in my memoir.
It's wild.
Like the end of it, sure, but that chunk of time, it was just so, I got ripped out because my stepdad got stationed in San Diego, and the friend I was going to live with right before, like, his parents signed off on me living there.
In Eatontown?
In McGill.
I had no idea.
Do you remember? We can say his name. You remember Jesse? Jesse,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh my god!
I was going to live with him.
No
Yes,
way.
yes.
Wait, why did I didn't know? I didn't.
Yeah,
I knew
and-
you knew,
and-
but I didn't realize.
Within like a week, all of a sudden his dad found out he was getting deployed to Iraq. And his mom was like, I can't handle that.
Oh my god.
And then my mom's friend, who I was going to stay with. Yeah, I know. My mom's friend, who I was going to stay with, same thing. Literally, she approved. I was going to live in Eatontown as well, on the other side of 36. And her and her husband were like, we're getting a divorce. So it was like a domino effect. But looking back on it, it was always meant to be that way.
Yeah.
I could not imagine my life a way where I had been here my senior year and the year after college. Because for you who don't know, I moved back 2 years after I had left. And I've been here for almost 10 years now. And it's crazy too, because I met you my first year back.
Yeah.
I met you 6 months into my first year
It's weird for me
back.
to think about, because like it felt like you were always there.
Yes, same
Which
thing.
you basically were.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
But so another thing so the first story that I want to dive into is college.
Oh.
Because you and I had two different college experiences.
Definitely.
Even though, weird enough, if I had attended Monmouth University, or if I had stayed attending, we would have graduated
Would've
together.
been so cool. We always like. Oh.
But again, same thing. But it works out, because if I had, we would have not had my legendary Howell house parties.
Oh my god.
Jody got excited. She's like, oh wait, the parties.
The parties.
No, those
amazing parties.
Like those were like the fabric of our youth. Like
we were all in, we were
you had
college.
the first party, you were still a senior.
Yeah.
You had a few weeks left of high school. But yeah,
so
I was that was my 21st birthday party, was the first party I had.
Oh my god, yes.
But so the one story that I've been dying to share on the podcast, and it was always going to be either with you or Ryan, is that time that I broke my golden rule and someone stole a cell phone.
Oh my god.
Remember this? Okay.
It's like, oh no.
So I always had I'm not sharing that story.
No, but I knew it was gonna be either one of the two. So I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, no, guys, there's a story that y'all will not hear. That's off the record. But so I used to have a golden rule that everyone at the party, I either had to know them or have met them prior. Mm-hmm. I never allowed a stranger into my house. Mm-hmm. And so one time, I decided to bend that rule for a friend that I worked with over at the chain convenience.
The Jane chain.
The chain gang. Honestly, who that was, he probably is not part of a chain gang. So I had a friend from the chain convenience store that I worked at and he was a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey Sam, can I bring a friend?" And I said, "Hey dude, I don't really know, not that I don't trust you or or that you can't vet for your friend, but when people are at a party and they drink, things happen, and I don't like that feeling of someone in my house who I don't know getting drunk."
Yeah.
But he said, "Sam, trust me, I can vet for him. He's a good guy. He'll get along great with him, yada, yada, yada." I let him in. And what happened? He was a fucking nightmare. He was smoking pot in my kitchen, smoking cigarettes in my kitchen.
Like, can you go outside, please?
Yeah, can you please?
Like, there is literally a door, like, steps away from
and
you.
not only that, but it wasn't even a big party. Like, that party...
It wasn't. That's the thing. Like, you had a huge backyard.
Yes.
Like, the door to outside was literally steps away from him.
Yes.
Like, he had zero excuse to be fucking smoking weed, like, in the house. I was so annoyed.
I mean, but, like, it's just knowing who he was in the end, it's like, that was, like, his personality. Like that's, like, that world he came from, where that was, like, okay.
Yeah.
And so, I'll never forget, was... Not only was he harassing all the women all night, I don't know if he harassed you at all.
No, but yeah, I knew other stuff.
Oh yeah, but then I eventually asked him to leave. Him and my friend left. They had ordered a taxi. A friend of ours goes upstairs to get her cell phone in my bedroom.
Thank God it wasn't mine. Hot damn.
And her cell phone.
Close.
Oh yeah, and her cell phone was missing.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I can't find my phone." And I said, "Who were the last people up here?" "Oh my God, so-and-so from the store and that friend." We all go upstairs. I remember you up there were looking for her cell phone.
We were like, oh shit, it's gone, man.
And then we found her phone case behind my pillows. And we're like, "Oh my God, this person jacked it." And I immediately called.
Sam was like,
"Oh my God,
goes
okay."
into mode,
yes. The fight or flight in me. And I'll never forget, we were calling her phone.
yes.
And that's important to the story.
Yes.
Is so we're calling her phone, and I'm drunk. And I remember I put my phone in I think I had it in my hand. And I run downstairs, and I see my friend and his friend getting into the taxi.
Yeah.
I rip them out of that fucking taxi. I start demanding them to hand over the phone. They're both like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Eventually, I get the phone from the friend of a friend. And I turn it on, and I'll never forget this, is he goes, no, that's my phone. And it booted up, and it was like some like pretty fall leaf background. And I was like, I'm like, "You have a pretty fall leaf background?"
Yeah.
He's like, And I'll never forget, the taxi driver was so scared that I was going to beat the shit out of these guys. And remember, he was like, "Oh my God, please don't." I remember I shoved him back. I shut the door. I went upstairs and was like, "Oh my God, da, da, da."
Yeah,
I
it was
lost
wild.
my
you like went
shit.
in, like you went on a whole like
Yeah.
spiel downstairs.
White folks moment.
Sam.
Oh my God.
Sam.
And then the best part is the next morning, because the four of us slept all in the same room. You, Ryan, me, and the friend whose phone got stolen. We all slept in the same room together.
Speaking of the devil.
Yeah, literally. I'll never forget the next morning. She goes, "Oh my God, Sam, I have a voicemail from you." And I was like, "What?" And it had recorded the entire conversation with me and those guys in the taxi, because I was leaving her a voicemail the entire time.
Like, oh.
Iconic. Like, that was my college experience. Because I went to community college, and then I had house parties that were just the fucking bomb.com.
But they were the bomb. They were,
Yeah, the moments, Jody. There's so many more.
So many. Can't even.
But, so with your college experience, because you also had...
I had an interesting experience.
You did, yes.
I did.
Please share for those who don't know.
So yeah, I went to a school in Philly, and I hated it.
Why did you go there in the first place?
They had a good business program.
Okay.
I know, it's so lame, but they had a good business program, and I got semi of a decent scholarship So I was like, I had good vibes from it. And I was like, let's do it. Let's go. And my first semester was like, oh, I hated it. I mean, like, my roommate was okay, but it just wasn't the experience I was looking for.
Didn't you have a roommate who like left moldy stuff everywhere, or like?
That was second year. So
But
yeah,
that did happen.
It did. Yeah. But yeah, so my mom thought that I wanted to leave because Ryan.
Because of Ryan.
Because Ryan was home.
Yes.
Going to his school near us. And yeah. So she made me basically stay there. She made me do the whole rushing thing, even though I didn't really want to do it, which ended up not eating me in the ass. I guess biting me in the ass. That's a very wrong term.
Eating your whole. Those sorority girls know how to eat whole.
Basically, I found out that like I didn't get into the two sororities.
Yeah,
like I wanted
remember that.
to get into, even though I didn't want to get into them.
Yeah, I get it. I get
it. On Ryan and I think it was our 5-year anniversary, and Ryan sent flowers, and I was like, I fucking left. I went home.
Oh my god!
So he sent flowers to the school I went to.
Oh my god!
Like that we're gonna sit over the weekend. He's like, they're gonna die, and I was like, God, I don't want to be here.
Oh my god!
So I got like double whammied, like finding out, and I was just like, I'm done with this school. I'm done.
Do you remember that time that like me and Ryan came to rescue you from the train station? That was like you left, and like me and Ryan drove to the train station to pick you up.
Wait, what time was that? There's
I
so
don't know.
many times.
I mean, there were so many times.
Like literally, I went home every weekend.
Oh yeah.
Or if I didn't,
Yeah. Or there's that one time where you had a really bad week, and Ryan and Mr. Ross came to pick you up.
Oh,
and then,
I called them.
Yes.
Or I texted them. I said, "Come pick me up."
I know.
So Mr. Ross picked me up. It was so nice.
And then me and Kevin had all that stuff like ready for you when you came back to that house, because it broke our hearts. It broke our hearts.
Yeah, we hated it. So I suffered. For 2 years.
And then you got lit at Mom with You.
Well, I got so lucky because I had, friends that Ryan had made. He just joined a new fraternity. Like that was new on campus. And I met like my now friends like for life, I feel like. So I got really lucky there. And like, I mean, I would say we like went to some like kind of lit parties, but like homecoming, right? Like homecoming was like the most crazy time of college years. And like I got a little like crazy on those days because like didn't everybody?
I used to always get mad because every time I would plan my Halloween parties,
know.
And it was like no matter how far in advance.
Oh my god!
And then like one year homecoming got switched, and I was like, and it landed on my party. I was like, but we planned it so it wasn't on my party.
I know. I felt so bad.
I know.
But like we got lit for you. So.
I know.
Yeah, like our one friend used to go from the second floor balcony and pour beer from the second floor to try to get it into our mouth on the first floor. And one morning, of course, you start at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my god.
So yeah. So maybe that was like 8 o'clock in the morning at this point. We had already probably had some drinks before that. And then at that point, he's pouring beer and I literally spills all over me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I gotta fucking change now. Like, this is, annoying.
I could never.
And so I wasn't, like, a part of any sorority fraternity. And we went to these parties, these pregame things that were for the sorority and fraternity that, like, they, like, grouped with, like, that year. Like, they had like, whatever, their partner. So I'm like, can I just, like, steal one of the shirts? Because, like, I am soaked. Like, I can't wear this anywhere. So I change. I'm wearing this even though I'm not in any sorority or fraternity. I like wear it. And then we go to the actual like tailgate.
Okay.
Right? We go to the tailgate and I see a friend from high school who, because our high school is very close in proximity. Obviously to the
university.
The university. So I'm like, hey, whatever. She's like, yo, we're shotgunning, right? And I'm like, oh boy. I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, I am turned at this point. I'm like, yeah.
It's like 10 in the morning.
I shotgun this thing immediately after.
Vomit.
Ew. Shirt number 2.
Oh,
ding,
on
ding,
your
ding, ding, ding. Right into the elbow because I was like, I don't even know where to go.
Ryan's laughing in the background. He's like, yeah, I was there for that. I just like I could never.
It was so bad. So then I'm like, oh shit, can't use this shirt.
So did you just go braless or bra?
Well, no, so one of our
shirts are a little less expensive when coming, so you went to the school store.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I had to grab one of my skinny friends' sweaters that they were wearing to throw on me until I had to go to the school store and buy a fucking.
How much?
It was cheap, thank God.
Oh, okay,
thank God.
okay,
But still, yeah, I still had it was 3 outfit changes before 12 p.m. Or yeah.
Well, you tend to love borrowing people's clothes.
You tend to love borrowing people's clothes.
So guys, there's this bar that I've told about. This is the infamous bar that I picked up Tiffany from Bar A. So I went to Bar A about 3 years ago with Ryan, and Jody didn't turn 21 yet. And we're on our way, and all of a sudden we find out that Bar A has the stupidest rule where guys aren't allowed to wear tank tops.
Mind you, girls can fucking wear anything. Joke and a half.
I don't get it. It's a weird
joke and a half.
It's so weird. And we're like, fuck. What do we do? Jody's on her way to the gym.
Yeah, I dropped them off. I was DD. I dropped them off.
And she's wearing like an oversized gym t-shirt. And she's like, switch with me. And I'm like, Jody, I can't. She's like, switch, Sam. It's your only way in. And so I gave her my tank top, which is like fine or whatever.
Which I still have.
You somehow...
like 4 years later.
But like you gave it to me when you guys moved into... you and Ryan.
I don't know.
And then somehow it like, ended up so back in your place. Like, get rid of this thing. But so the shirt that I had to wear was a extra large, oversized Special Olympics shirt. And I ran into so many people. And you guys, it had nothing to do with the fact that it was Special Olympics. Like, yes, that was a cherry on top.
Like, you're out at the bar.
And it was like this oversized t-shirt. And I'm like a skinny guy. And so it was just like, it looked like a parachute. It was like, I found my dad's shirt. They put it on. And then
It's so bad.
And then, funny enough, because this is another topic we're talking about today, is I bump into my only girlfriend. Ryan literally yells across like the sand. He goes, Vanessa! And then he bolts, and I'm stuck there standing there like, She's like, oh my God, Sam! Oh my God, Sam Pellicero! And I'll never forget. She looked at me up and down, and she goes, what?
Because like. Back then, I didn't get it because, like, I wasn't in the bar scene yet.
So you didn't know Bar A.
So, like,
now you know Bar A.
Like, if I saw somebody wearing a Special Olympic shirt,
that was like 3 sizes too big for them.
Exactly. I was just like, die.
So funny.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, alcohol. That was our alcohol section of the episode.
Oh. Is it?
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing was about alcohol. Let me look at my notes. This is for Ryan, but he's off camera, but he'll get a kick out of this. Did you know that Ryan and I know someone who once got suspension and they made a whole Facebook album on it called Suspension Vacation?
No.
So,
that's great.
And so like she took photos of her entire week of suspension. And the album name was Suspension Vacation.
All right, after this I need to know who it is.
Oh yeah. Also, I found out that next month is my high school reunion.
Oh my God.
But want to know what's so fucked about it?
Wait, so it's the one...
It's Monmouth Regional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Monmouth Regional. Well, so when I had Becky, because guys, you guys heard Becky last episode, we talked about this. It was just weird that I'm talking about this now. I didn't even plan this. It's just so weird that she was on that last episode. So obviously she was invited because she graduated, because I missed that year. But because I had been gone to school with all these people for, forever.
Yeah.
I had always intended, like, I'll go and I'll see them. But this was, 10 years ago. Now that I literally don't speak to anyone from high school but Becky, we were laughing. And she was like, Sam, what's a private Facebook group? And so she got me in. Because then she told me that, guys, this is how stupid this is. And this comes to the terms of, like, grow up. The popular girls from high school are obviously running the page, because why not?
I thought it was a class president.
Okay, so here's the tea.
Okay.
No one will own up to being our class president.
No.
And it's not.
And nobody can fucking remember it.
And it's not in our yearbook apparently.
Oh my
so
God.
no one will own up to it. So the popular girls, I guess this page goes all the way back to like January, and they're like, oh well, then we'll do it. They have been purposely blocking certain people from our class so that they don't know about the reunion. You're so shitty. Grow up. If 10 years have passed and you're still that judgmental piece of shit, I pray for you. I pray for you. Like, you're still hung up on the fact that, you know, I'll make up a name. Dylan Kent was the weird kid in biology. Like, you're so like hooked on that. And also racist. They were purposely not inviting the black people from our class. And Becky literally noticed that and went through and was adding all the black people.
Good. I know Becky would go in because she has no filter.
Oh,
I'm like, yes, bitch.
Yes. I mean, but how fucked is that? Grow up. Grow
I
up.
feel like you can't grow up
No.
at this point.
I mean, there's no way.
I
And
know a lot of the people in there. So like the fact that frustrates me to no end.
And it's so funny because it's sad because I can picture like you and Ryan going to your reunion and it being such a different way than it being like mine.
I hope so.
We would
but
hope
who the
so.
hell knows?
But who the hell knows? I think it's hilarious that not one person's owning up to being like the class president. And it's ironic because when you're in high school, you want to be the president so bad. But
I
then
remember who it was. Yeah, exactly.
But then it's like no one will own up. And ironically enough, I ran for class president.
Did you?
And I didn't get it because here's some drama. This is like so funny. Okay, so this is a total Sam move.
Oh boy.
Pun intended.
Here we go.
Because I knew that I was moving. I had nothing. Okay, you know exactly where this is going. Okay, so I didn't get along with a lot of people in high school. One, I was weird and a dick. And two, just because like I was just like the outcast. Like for no reason, just for literally being, you know, questionably gay because I wasn't out in high school. But my goal, because towards the middle of junior year, because of my friend Jesse, because he was like the popular kid, because he was a new kid, he was hot, he was just, you know, he was snatching the snatch, he was on a step club or step team, the whole 9 yards. I was getting some clout from him. So towards halfway through junior year, all the guys who used to make fun of me were now like my friends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I had some pull, and I was like, I'm gonna run for president. I'm gonna win, and then never return to this school and not tell anyone I'm moving. Like that.
Yeah.
That was my game plan, and I did. I like made posters.
Oh my God.
Like I was doing the whole 9 yards. I don't know. I'll never forget. Becky was helping me. Like Becky and they would go to all the classes that I was not part of, like during those like moments. And just like try to like infiltrate the system. Like you should vote for Sam. Sam promised like, you know, free bagels every Friday for the seniors, like all this shit. I was like, tell them anything because I'm not gonna hear for any of it. And so fucked. And so I lost because I mean obviously I lost like for many reasons. I'll never forget though when each of the senior president nominees or whatever the fuck it was called, candidates, went on the morning announcement news and like read their like whatever their plea to be a fucking president. I don't have really any memory of that, but all I remember was like, you know, we found out the next day and I lost. And I remember some girl walked up to me in the library and she goes, I knew you were moving, Sam. I found out. I found out from Jesse that you were moving. Jesse
outed you!
Stabbed me in the back
shit!
and was telling people when I wasn't around to not vote for me because I was moving.
What a D.
Like Ryan would never.
Exactly.
Like
what a
shitting.
D.
Shitty.
Buttons, I would have.
You know I would have been in that shit too.
If you vote for Sam, you'll live forever. Forever? Forever. Forever.
What would your slogan be?
I had a slogan, and I think it was cringy
I
as
don't even want to know.
Are you ready? Because you're gonna
remember it?
sweat.
Oh boy.
Because I remember
I'm already sweating,
I'll never
so-
forget. I saw someone point to the sign and they went oof or like whatever, you know, like whatever oof was
Whatever
in
it was,
2000
yeah.
in 2007. So I'm sorry. Were you guys watching that? The full-length episodes of Shmee are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, y'all. What are y'all waiting for? The links are below. I'll see you guys there. Bye!